Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. By TRACY. Chapter 6, Committing Yourself to Excellence, Part D. The aim of strategy. When you begin thinking of yourself as a personal services corporation, you separate yourself from all those people who think they work for someone else. When you take charge of your career, you begin thinking in terms of personal strategic planning, just like a large business. You begin making plans for the long term. The parallels between corporate planning and personal planning are very similar. The purpose of strategic planning in a business is to achieve the highest return on equity, ROE, invested in the business. All strategic plans and tactics are aimed at reorganizing the resources and activities of the company in such a way that it achieves a higher rate of financial return on its resources than it was achieving before. In its simplest terms, strategic planning is aimed at increasing the ratio of outputs to inputs. All of the management practices popular today, such as restructuring, reorganizing, re-engineering, and reinventing, are aimed at improving the functioning of the organization so that it earns more money. They are aimed at increasing outputs and rates of return on equity. Increasing your return on energy. If return on financial capital is called return on equity, your personal ROE is your return on energy. Personal strategic planning is focused on organizing and reorganizing your life, restructuring and re-engineering your activities, to increase the quality and quantity of rewards you get from the investment of the hours and days of your life in what you do. Let us say, for example, that you have decided that you want to double your income in the next 3 to 5 years. This is a reasonable goal that many people around you are already achieving. It is not that difficult to achieve. Simply put, to double your income, you merely have to double the value of your output relative to your input. You have to double the value of your contribution. Financial results come as the result of performing a function or producing valuable goods and services that someone is willing to pay for. If you want to increase the amount you get out, you have to make a plan to increase the amount you put in. Your area of excellence. What is the critical factor that determines the success or failure of any company? It is its competitive advantage, or area of excellence. Every company comes into being and survives because it has a unique capacity to offer the market something that is better in some way than anything being offered by its competitors. It stays in business as long as it continues to satisfy its customers in a particular area better than anyone else. The competitive advantage or unique selling proposition of a company determines its rate of growth, its level of sales, its profitability, and its very survival. Companies without a competitive advantage soon disappear from the marketplace, to be replaced by other companies with clear, unmistakable, competitive advantages that customers can and will pay for. You are no different. As the president of a company of one, you, too, must develop and maintain meaningful competitive advantage. You must develop an area of uniqueness. You must be absolutely excellent in the work that you do so that you can rise to the top of your field. Your choices and decisions about what your competitive advantage is, and will be, are the critical determinants of your financial success in your life and career. Succeeding the hard way. Some years ago, a friend of mine went to work for a stock brokerage firm. The recruiting and training program was highly technical and the sales training was virtually non-existent. When he finally got his brokerage license, he was given the yellow pages and told to begin dialing for dollars, phoning anybody he could get on the other end of the line and pitching them on his products. He soon learned that this was one of the hardest ways in the world to crack the professional sales field and make a living. One day he had a sudden insight that changed his career, and eventually made him one of the top financial advisors in the country. He realized that his entire career, and everything that happened to him, his family lifestyle, his bank account, and his future, would be determined by how good he was on the telephone. So he made a decision to become absolutely outstanding at using the telephone as a prospecting and selling tool. He read every book he could find on effective telephone techniques. He took every course and studied every piece of information on the subject. He became so good at using the telephone that he could recognize 19 different kinds of hesitancy in the voice of the person he was calling. He developed appropriate responses to each one so that he could reassure his prospects and clients that what he was recommending was the right thing for them. Today, he earns more than $5 million per year buying and selling investments for his clients over the phone on straight commission. Fully 99% of his business is done by telephone and now by computer, email, and fax. He seldom meets his clients personally. But on the phone, he is a master communicator. He definitely and specifically identified and developed a competitive advantage that he used to move to the top of his field. What could it be for you? Become a do-it-to-yourself project. Here is an exercise. Complete this sentence: if I could really well, I could make all the money I wanted. Your job is to fill in the blank. What one skill, if you developed and did it consistently in an excellent fashion, would have the greatest positive impact on your income? If you could wave a magic wand and be absolutely outstanding in any one part of your work, which part of your work would you choose? Whatever your answer, this is the key result area that you need to begin work on right away. All lasting success in your business or career will come as a result of your doing something extremely well, something that others value and are willing to pay for. And anything that anyone else can do in an excellent fashion, you can learn to do as well. Remember, everyone in the top 10% started in the bottom 10%. Everyone who is doing well today was once doing poorly. All of the people at the top of your field were at one time in some other field altogether. The way to get to the front of the buffet line of life, where all the good things are to be found, is simple. First, get in line. Make a decision to join the top 10%, no matter how long it takes. Second, stay in line. Once you start moving toward personal excellence, keep learning and practicing until you get there. Here's the good news. The buffet line of life is moving. It never closes. It is open 24 hours per day. Everyone who gets in line and stays in line eventually gets to the front. Nothing can stop you from getting into the top 10%. Except yourself. You are responsible. This is the end of Chapter 6 Part D.